Welcome back, everyone. Another Learning Fives video here, bringing you Worlds preview information, telling you what you should be watching for, who you should be looking for, and maybe you should be picking up these champions if the pros are doing them. Well, maybe not those high mechanic ones like Zed. But we're talking about him. We're bringing mid laners here. My name is the Amo. I'm with the coaching support team. We bring those lesson plans. We help those coaches try and get better at helping you as the player, get better at League. Bringing with me production team. They're going to hate me for this episode. It's going to go long. It's going to go different than the other ones. Blaster Boy, hopefully those Imgurs are looking great. So we're going super different. Mid lane is the largest pool of possible champions to be played at Worlds this year. Mid lane, it all depends on your team's player, his style he likes to play, the style your team likes to play, what you want to come out of mid lane. Do you want to be since I'm in NA, do you want to be a Po Belter mid laner? Be supportive to your teams. Be the only NA player in NA LCS. That type of thing. Do you want to be Bjergsen playing Zilean half the games, letting Doublelift carry your ass? Or do you want to be Bjergsen, playing LeBlanc and carrying Doublelift's ass? That's what we're talking about here, mid laners. So I think we got different things. We're still doing 3 bans though. So we got 3 bans. We're going Viktor, Malzahar, Cassiopeia. Viktor, you're still getting that augmented item. You're still clearing those waves super fast. You're allowing your team to know that mid lane is safe. It's not going down easy. It's not going down without a fight. Not much. I mean, you can have some control. His ult and his everything doesn't matter. Viktor is clearing waves, and sometimes that's all you need from your mid laner. Next, Malzahar. He's bringing the CC. He's bringing the lockdown. He's extremely hard to gank because of his passive. He can push super fast if he wants to. He can push really slow. Not usually really slow. Normally it's really fast. He can solo Dragon. He can solo Rift Herald. These are the types of things that we can see coming out of Malzahar. Another reason why to ban him. Next is going to be actually Cassiopeia because of the Vlad nerfs. And well, if you're an NA team, ban Vladimir. Especially for CLG. Now, Cassiopeia, though, it's just a lot of damage. She's not getting those boots because of her passive. She's getting that that extra 6th item to bring in the extra damage into the team fights, into the lane control, the poison. It's just something that not a lot of teams want to deal with. Her ult's really strong, or sometimes, but a lot of times, it's enough that if the other enemy player is really good on Cassiopeia, you want to get that champion out of there. So we're going to break it down into 4 sections here. We're going to go with Assassins, we're going to go with the Globals, the Supportives, and the Controllers. So these are the 4 categories I kind of made up by myself, kind of going off of Riot's own subclass list that they put out towards the beginning of the summer. I think it was back in May or June that they put them out. If you haven't read them, go and look at them. They're pretty interesting to see how Riot wants to classify their own champions into the little subdivisions. So first we're going Assassins. Well, we have Zed, LeBlanc, Fizz, and Kassadin. Now I don't expect to see a ton of Assassin play at this year's Worlds. There's always time for outplay though. Someone's going to want to try and play Faker. Someone's going to want to be like, I'm picking Zed and just go ham. And then there are other times where you're like, I'm last picking my mid lane, and this is a perfect time to pick Kassadin into that lineup. LeBlanc's like, I love killing those squishy supports. Fizz, we got Fizz and Vladimir on this list somewhere. We got a troll pole and a troll pool. I hate trolls, except for Trundle. He's a badass mother. Okay, cutting it short because this is a family program. After that, we're going to the map or globals. I'm calling these the globals because their ults or part of their kit is really dealing with global here. We have Taliyah, Twisted Fate, Rise, and Aurelion Sol. Now, Aurelion Sol did have some bugs, did get fixed in that 6.18 patch. Hopefully, everything's kosher with that, and we won't see any problems. I'm being slightly wary if CLG loves to run the Aurelion Sol. If runs Aurelion Sol down mid lane and that bug shows up again, could be out of the tournament, maybe one and done for that champion. But that pressure that Aurelion Sol can do, roaming from point A to point B across the map with her E and those large impactful team fights could be really interesting to watch. That being said, Taliyah and Twisted Fate, they nerfed Taliyah a little bit, making her wave clear not as good. But she still has that ability to show up to top lane, to show up to bot lane, just like Twisted Fate. That's where they want to go, right? We're talking about, in the prediction here, bot lane centered world, bot lane focused. At least that's the group play and how the teams, I think, are going to approach it, especially because these 2v2s, people are going to be piling in the bot lane. What's the best way to pile in the bot lane? Bring a champion. Doesn't have to bring teleport like Twisted Fate. He can ult it, come in with his ult. Talia can come in with her ult. That type of thing. Next is Ryze. If Faker pulls out Ryze at this year's Worlds and just dumpsters everyone, well, no one else either picks Ryze or bans it against him, I'm going to be ashamed of the rest of the world, because Ryze's new kit makes his global, the possibilities of ulting your whole team into Baron Pit or out of Baron Pit or from bot lane to mid lane as you're sieging a Nexus tower to make sure that minions keep Baron, or to bring a siege minion with you, the cannon minion, the banner command minion. It doesn't matter. This global, not global necessarily, but this teleport coming out of Ryze, I think is going to be extremely impactful if teams have practiced it and they've had time to practice it. I'm really looking forward to a Korean team, probably SKT, mainly because Faker's extremely good with Ryze, coming with a Ryze comp, and I really look for it coming in. Next after that, we're going to go with the supportive mid laners. Now this is like Karma, this is Zilean, and I'm putting Varus in here because, well, he didn't really have any other place to go in the other ones other than maybe Control, but he's an AD carry. He just wants to poke and siege, and then he throws out an ult, which he can, snare a whole bunch of people. So he could probably goes in the Control section, but no, we're putting him in supportive just to make the Imgurs look a little bit easier for Blaster Boy. But Karma and Zilean, I'm not quite sure if they're going to get a lot of play unless Zilean may come slightly popular. But once again, keeping that AD carry alive, bringing him back to life, allowing him to just pump out that damage. Last, we have Control. So we have Lissandra, Syndra, Vel'Koz, and Vladimir. They're going to control mid lane. They want to just control what's going on in the center of the map, maybe get some roams off. Maybe, Syndra just wants to kind of all in and kill your champion, but she's going to do it in a little, small, controlled environment. It's not like Syndra can go on roams, Vladimir can go on roams, Lissandra can TP ult in or gank in and flank in, but she's about kind of that zone control, kind of controlling the areas instead of like a Malzahar who's just about CC locking down one champion, while Lissandra's kind of the same point. But once again, we banned Malzahar because we don't want to see any of those little voidlings coming out. They're too strong. So I actually don't have any fringe picks for this, mainly because I have a bunch of champions here. There's a ton of different champions you can be seeing pull lane and mid lane. Every mid laner has his own thing. If Faker brings out Riven, super. If Jace wants to come out, if a team wants to go poke comp, kind of depends on how the meta goes and how teams want to play it. But I think the mid lane is going to see the most diverse champions played at this year's Worlds. So we got the bot lane coming up next. Hopefully you catch it. See you then.